office is for students who want to study abroad. 2. The paper must be reviewed thoroughly and appropriately. 3. The beggar was laughed at by the children. 4. The percentage of respondents who knew that the Earth circles the Sun once each year remained essentially unchanged. 5. Training covers a range of scenarios that an actor might encounter. 6. Becoming a good actor requires persistence and motivation. 7. You are recommended to only use footnotes when they are necessary. 8. This teaching method provides the opportunity for students to learn by completing tasks. 9. This type of butterfly travels to a country with a warmer climate in winter. 10. A company may have the same legal rights as a person. 11. The aim is to increase the speed of the processes. 12. The new tools are being tested by senior specialists. 13. Junior hospital technicians have to work very long hours. 14. The doctor examined her and said she had a chest infection. 15. Lower speed limits are part of a new road safety campaign. 16. What Euro trademark is bringing to the company is financial expertise. 17. Tests should be administered by a medical expert. 18. Collecting the raw materials proved a long and laborious task. 19. Languages are an essential part of the school curriculum. 20. The company will arrange a taxi to meet you at the airport. 21. Organizational failure is considered from various perspectives in academic literature. 22. This Thursday is the last day for students to withdraw subjects without any penalty. 23. Students are encouraged to think carefully about their accommodation needs. 24. The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably. 25. Students are recommended to read new books by Professor Johns. 26. An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources. 27. The art course has been cancelled due to the new policy. 28. Safety glasses should be worn while doing experiments in the lab. 29. The final exam will test material from all chapters covered in class this term. 30. We have very little actual documentation of it. 31. Let us see if the technology is going to cooperate with his presentation. 32. The tutorial rooms are located along the left-hand side. 33. The English expression is just a way of saying that age is not important. 34. You can borrow up to 2 books at the same time in the library. 35. I am glad that Professor Gordon just joined our faculty. 36. The lecture tomorrow will discuss the educational policy in the United States. 37. Many species have not yet been discovered by biologists. 38. The content of the book on the cover must be in capitals. 39. He told me it was the most important assignment of all. 40. The trial experiment is to increase the interests of the issue and the jurisdiction clause. To repeat sentence. 13. 41. Mobile phone chargers vary enormously from one place to another. 42. We are considering all candidates' backgrounds and identities. 43. There are many welcoming activities for new undergraduate and postgraduate students. 44. Students can choose graduate certificate, graduate diploma, and master course. 45. Please note, the proposal submission deadline has been extended. 46. We Euro trademark VE been doing research in that area for probably 25 years. 47. The media have had a great influence on people's beliefs and attitudes. 48. You realize that you can deal with a lot of situations. 49. Marks will be awarded for a bibliography in the correct format. 50. The campus car park will be closed next weekend. 51. Understanding the historical context will help you appreciate the art in this era. 52. She's doing a master's degree by distance learning. 53. Numerous courses devoted to life sciences are listed in the prospectus. 54. You can drop or add your courses online during the registration week. 55. It's obviously vital that companies should fully understand their customers. 56. I took everything to the copy center this morning before class. 57. The results of the study challenge previously held assumptions. 58. Please make an appointment before attending the next meeting. 59. Please make sure you have filled in all your details before submitting. 60. We heard the argument against it from several perspectives. 61. Making a profit and protecting the environment needn't be separate aims. 62. Keeping organized class notes will make study time more efficient. 63. Remember to bring calculators to class next week. 64. In Russia, my colleagues said my written language was hard to understand. 65. For further information, you need to contact a member of our administration team. 66. Students may not use calculators in the final exams. 67. The first draft of the presentation is almost ready. 68. It is of the utmost importance that you follow the ethical guidelines carefully. 69. When I study, I will underline all the main points in my notes. 70. It seems that science can satisfactorily explain why the universe still exists. 71. Journalists need to work with a range of technologies. 72. The bird was fluttering its wings during the rain. 73. The subject is complex and difficult to explain. 74. In your introduction, show you understand the question in no more than 4 sentences. 75. To take this course, students should have basic subject knowledge. 76. Will those happy days ever be forgotten by you? 77. Telecommunication is based on the array of networks. 78 My favorite sports are soccer, tennis, and basketball. 79 Students will need to be in the lecture this Thursday. 80 Professor Tim Lee invented World Wide Web. 81 Application forms for sharing accommodations must be completed 2 months in advance. 82 Students' past education and experience are vital. 83 Your lowest quiz grade has been omitted from the calculations. 84 Essays and assignments should be submitted to the department office before the deadline. 85 A very basic feature of computing is counting and calculating. 86 The contemporary literature works have been broadened and extended through 14. Interpretation. 87 All students must return the books to the college library before the end of the term. 88 Note that the deadline of the submission of proposals has been extended for a week. 89 Tuition fees will vary according to the field of study. 90 Newspapers around the country are reporting the stories of the president. 91 Today's lecture is cancelled because the lecturer is ill. 92 Geography is generally divided into 2 branches, human and physical. 93 Social work is not the only subject in sociology. 94 Collaboration is a feature of a successful company. 95 A man who suffered serious brain damage during an operation is suing the hospital. 96 There is not enough space for me in the car. 97 We can discuss education in the tutorial next week. 98 My tutor told him not to repeat the same argument again and again. 99 One study asks people to keep daily journals recording their appreciation for their partners. 100 Several students raise different examples. 101 Please make an appointment with your tutor about work. 102 Remember your essay should have less than 2,000 words. 103 The university policy on plagiarism can be viewed on the website. 104 The website has probably the most attractive designs and layouts. 105 It's a warm current without which it would be much cooler. 106 The brain is our central computer of our bodies. 107 Read the safety instructions before using the equipment during the workshop. 108 The gap between the rich and the poor does not decrease. 109 We have 3 distinctive libraries which are nationally acclaimed. 110 Tuesday sessions will last for approximately 2 hours. 111 Everyone should get access to art galleries no matter where they live. Until you complete the form, you cannot attend. 112 There is too much information on this topic. 113 Presentation skills are important to both universities and workplaces. 114 Major sports on campus include rugby, soccer, and tennis. 115 It is clear that the effects of climate change will damage the world economy. 116 The framework will help pose more research questions systematically. 117 Experience would be an advantage for this managerial role. 118 The library is located on the north side of the campus. 119 Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the other theories that can explain the variations in climate. 120 Half of the marks in mathematics are allocated to the correct working. 121 The sports team members often practice on weekdays and play games on weekends. 122 Biographical information should be removed prior to the publication of the results. 123 The United States is the largest chocolate manufacturing country. 124 Children are not allowed to be in the laboratory at any time. 125 If you forget your passport, you need to contact the student center. 126 An extra lecture is about to be scheduled at the end of this week to assist you with revision. 127 Students can download the lecture handouts from the course website. 128 Being a vegan means not consuming any animal products. 129 Students should take advantage of the internet before attending the lecture. 15. 130 You need a valid visa letter from the department to join the workforce. 131 Please be careful when using online translation programs. 132 The course comprises 20 hours of lectures, seminars, and tutorials each week. 133 To get further extension, you need to call the education executive on 401. 134 Professor Gordon just called me a few minutes ago. 135 There won't be any space for me in the car. 136 The books are filled with drawings of machines invented when he was a student. 137 Financial support can be offered to help pay your fees and other costs. 138 Companies are offering us all kinds of internet-connected devices. 139 I would like an egg and tomatoes on white sandwich bread with orange juice. Applicants for the course preferably have a degree in English or journalism. 140 Any textual references you make should be cited appropriately in the bibliography. 141 The cafeteria closes soon but the snack machine is accessible throughout the night. 142 The technician left the new microscope in the biology lab. 143 Ideally, free trade is beneficial to both trading partners. 144 All applications of internship are available in the office. 145 The geographic assignment should be submitted by the midday of Friday. 146 A thorough bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment. 147 Contemporary critics dismissed his idea as eccentric. 148 You can pay by cash or using a credit card. 149 The United States has developed a coffee culture in recent years. 150 In this library, the reserve collection of books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. 151 The number of company bankruptcies skyrocketed in the third quarter. 152 Our capacity to respond to national needs will determine our ability to flourish. 153 In my free time, I would like to read current affairs and newspapers. 154 Internet provides unusual opportunities for students and current events. 155 The university has a number of travel scholarships that students can apply for. 156 I don't like cheese and tomato sandwiches on white bread and orange juice. 157 If she doesn't speak the language, she's not going to sit around and wait for a translator. 158 To answer such a complex question with a simple yes or no is absolutely impossible. 159 Fishing is a sport and a means for surviving. 160 In 1830, periodicals appeared in large numbers in America. 161 Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts of the body. 162 We will study the following two pictures in the next lecture. 163 Companies are aiming to earn the money, not to change the society. 164 We need to read the first 5 chapters to prepare for next week's tutorial. 165 It is good for the environment, also good for your electricity bill. 166 The generic biology technology lab is located at the north wing of the library. 167 As a student union member, we can influence the change of the university. 168 Animals grow larger and stronger to help them to hunt better. 169 Don't a Euro trademark T hesitate to email me if you have any questions. 170 In 1880, cycling became a major phenomenon in Europe. 171 The hypothesis on black hole is rendered moot as the explanation of the explosion. 172 Students are competing for every place in the computer courses. 173 Expertise in particular areas distinguishes you from other graduates in a job interview. 174 This lecture was meant to start at 10:16. 175 Fishing is a sport and a means for survival. 176 She is an expert of the 18th century French literature. 177 Meteorology is a subject of Earth's atmosphere. 178 Students' identification cards will be issued today and tomorrow. 179 History is not a simple collection of dates and events. 180 Newspapers across the world are reporting stories of presidents. A spiritualism is defined as a system of belief or religious practice. 181 Student loans are now available for international students. 182 Physics is a detailed study of matter and energy. 183 Would you pass the material textbook on the table? 184 The small Indian state is a land of forests, valleys, and snowy islands. 185 He was constantly looking for ways to bring industry and agriculture together. 186 IA Euro trademark I'm glad you got here safely. 187 Globalization has been an overwhelming urban and urbanization phenomenon. 188 We offer a broad range of undergraduate and postgraduate courses. 189 To receive the reimbursement, you must keep the original receipts. 190 The wheelchair lift has been upgraded this month. 191 A visiting professor is going to give a lecture on geology. 192 The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today. 193 The first few sentences of an essay should capture the reader's attention. 194 The current statistical evidence indicates the need of further research. 195 The author expressed an idea that modern readers inevitably cannot accept. 196 Sport is the main cause of traumatic brain injuries in the United States. 197 The residence hall is closed prior to the closing time of the academic building at the end of the semester. 198 Most of the assignments should be submitted on the same day. 199 Meeting with tutors could be arranged for students who need additional help. 200 IA Euro trademark VE got a tutorial in an hour and I haven't a Euro trademark T had any time to prepare for it. 201 I will be in my office every day from 10 to 12. 202 Farmers do not always receive price for agricultural goods. A elephant is the largest land-living mammal. 203 Don't a Euro trademark T forget to hand in your assignments by the end of next week. 204 The context includes both the land history and the human history. Hashtag 205 Basketball was created in 1891 by a physician and a physical instructor. 206 Anyone who has a problem with their accommodation should speak to the welfare officer. 207 A computer virus has destroyed all my files. 208 You can change your courses on the website during the registration period. 209 Your watch is fast, you need to reset it. 210 You can pay using cash or a credit card. 211 Please do not bring food into the classroom. 212 Please pass the handouts along to the rest of the people in your row. 213 I expect a long and stagnant debate for a week or two on this issue. 214 In marketing short-term thinking leads to many problems. 215 The gap between the rich and the poor did not decrease rapidly as expected. 216 Number the beakers and put them away. 217 Our university has strong partnerships with industry as well as collaborative relationships with 17 government bodies. 218 What distinguishes him from others is his dramatic use of black and white photography. 219 All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutor. 220 Most scientists believe that climate change threatens lives on the earth. 221 No crop responds more readily than careful husbandry and skillful cultivation. 222 You should raise your concern with the head of school. 223 You must complete this chapter before going to the field trip. 224 You don't a Euro trademark T have to be on Professor Smith Euro trademark S course to attend this lecture. 225 We are delighted to have Professor Robert to join our faculty. 226 There will be a guest lecturer visiting the psychology department next month. 227 The seminar on writing skills has been cancelled. 228 The School of Arts and Design has an open day on Thursday next week. 229 The psychology department is looking for volunteers to be involved in research projects. 230 The lecture tomorrow will discuss the educational policies in the United States. 231 The law library is closed on Sundays and public holidays. 232 The clear evidence between brain events and behavioral events is fascinating. 233 Students will not be given credits for assignments submitted after the due date. 234 Meteorology is a detailed study of Earth a Euro trademark S atmosphere. 235 It is important to take gender into account when discussing the figures. 236 If you forgot your student number, you should contact Jenny Bryce. 237 I think it's a shame that some foreign language teachers were able to graduate from college without ever having studied with a native speaker. 238 Reserve collection of books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. 239 A preliminary bibliography is due the week before the spring break. 240 The library is located at the other side of the campus behind the student center. 241 Residence hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time in the semester. 242 A demonstrated ability to write clear, correct, and concise English is bigotry. 243 In consultation with your supervisor, your thesis is approved by the faculty committee. 244 The program depends entirely on private funding. 245 People with an active lifestyle are less likely to die early or to have a major illness. 246 Lecture theater is located on the ground floor of the building. 247 I could not save my work as my computer got crashed. 248 To understand its entity, we need to go back to its origin. 249 The tutor is there for help, so do ask if you don't understand anything. 250 Biographical information should be removed before the publication of the results. 251 Anatomy is the study of internal and external body structures. 252 The verdict depends on which side was more convincing to the jury. 253 Unfortunately, the two most interesting economic electives clash on my timetable. 254 All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week. 255 Even with the permit, finding a parking spot on campus is still impossible. 256 Please register your student email account at your earliest convenience. 257 Portfolio is due to the Internal Review Office no later than Tuesday. 258 The original Olympic Games were celebrated as religious festivals. 259 The real reason for global hunger is not the lack of food, but poverty. 260 A study skill seminar is on for the students who require assistance. 261 The university celebrated the Earth Day by planting trees. 262 Make sure the financial director knows the full details of the pay agreement. 18. 263 Students will need to be in the lecture this Thursday. 264 The main issue is to decide how we want to launch the new product. 265 The mock trial aims to increase the interest in the law and traditional process. 266 Students who'd like to help produce the college newspaper should come to a meeting tomorrow. 267 The college provides an advice service to support students with financial, emotional, and other problems. 268 The library is deemed too dangerous for children, but there is one child that visits it daily. 269 My mom made a milkshake with frozen bananas and chocolate sauce. 270 Soil erosion can be caused by increasing rainfall and changes in plant growth. 271 The chief industries are weaving leather, making dyeing and working in iron and pottery. 272 Students should take advantage of the online help system before approaching their lecturers. 273 I would never feed my dog with commercial dog food. 274 There is no point in designing efficient cars if we use them more and more. 275 Fungi are important in the process of decay, which returns ingredients to the soil, enhances soil fertility, and decomposes animal debris. 276 Fishing is a sport and a means for survival. 277 Everyone should get access to art galleries no matter where they live. 278 Number the beakers and put them away. 279 By using the student identification card you can borrow books from the library. 280 The framework will help pose more research questions systematically. 281 39.5% California residents speak a language other than English at home. 282 Students are afraid of writing an essay, because they have learned nothing about it. 283 Could you pass the material to students that are in your row? 284 39.5% California residents don't a Euro trademark T speak English at home. 285 The glass is not the real solid, because it doesn't have crystal structure. 286 Your enrollment information, results, and fees will be available online. 287 I think the university's main campus is closed. 288 Rules about breaks and lunchtime vary from one company to another. 289 All filed assignments should have a full list of bibliography. 290 The original Olympic game is one kind of original festival. 291 Company exists for money, not for society. 292 Knives and forks should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table. 293 A periodical is a publication that is issued regularly. 294 Acupuncture is a technique involved in traditional Chinese medicine. 295 The medical center is located near the supermarket on North Street. 296 Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture. 297 New York City is famous for its ethnic diversity. 298 The mismatch between the intended and reported uses of the instrument has become clear. 299 Essays should be typed with double space in white paper. 300 The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam techniques. 301 At night, sailors in the Mediterranean can see the glow from the fiery molten material that is thrown into the air. 302 The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. 303 I'll start with a brief history of the district, and then focus on life in the first half of the 20th century. 304 During the next few centuries, London became one of the most powerful and prosperous cities in Europe. 19. 305 I won't be able to attend a lecture because I have a doctor appointment. 306 Email increases the chances of miscommunication. 307 All students are encouraged to vote in the forthcoming elections. 308 Emails quick and convenient. 309 Some people think that having a child is not a major responsibility, but obviously it is. 310 The problems that science solves far outweigh the problems that it may bring. 311